Are you using AI in your business? That's awesome. But what if that AI is accidentally sabotaging you with completely made up facts? Today, we are tackling the AI gremlin known as hallucinations. Understanding this is actually crucial if you want AI to help you and not hurt your bottom line. A quick little intro. Hi, I'm Adnan, and I'm documenting my journey in the AI automation space as I learn new things every day and I post daily. So, you know how sometimes you're chatting with an AI like ChatGPT or something similar, and it just says something completely bonkers, like confidently wrong. Well, today I did a bit of dive into this, and it turns out there's a name for it, and it's a pretty big deal in the AI world. So, on today's learning journey, we are tackling AI hallucinations. We're going to look at what they actually are, why our super smart AI buddies sometimes talk nonsense, some ways I'm learning to try and reduce this, and crucially, why this is super important for any of us, especially for SMB owners thinking about using AI in their businesses. So stick around. This one's a bit of a mind bender, but it's really important. Okay, so what is an AI hallucination? Simply put, it's when a large language model and LLM, that's the engine behind most chatbots, generates information that is incorrect, nonsensical, or just not based in reality. But it presents it as if it's a solid fact. It's not like the AI is trying to lie to us, at least not in the human sense it can do that. It's more like it's so good at generating plausible sounding text. Sometimes, it believes its own fiction, even if that fiction is completely made up. Now, the why behind this is interesting. See, these LLMs are thinking or understanding the world like we humans do. They are incredibly sophisticated pattern matching machines, so they have been trained on absolutely massive amounts of text and code from the internet, which is publicly available, and some private, of course. So when you give it a prompt, it's essentially predicting the next most statistically likely word, let's just say that, and then the next, and so on. So, and it's all based on those patterns it learned earlier. So if there are gaps in its training data, or if your prompt is a bit ambiguous, it can start to fill in the blanks creatively. And because it doesn't have a real world truth compass or common sense like we do, those creative feelings can sometimes be pure fantasy, even if they sound convincing. Let me give you a quick made-up example to illustrate this. So imagine I ask an AI, or tell me about the famous 18th century Lunar Olympics. Now obviously there were no Olympics on the moon in the 1700s, but a less constrained AI might hallucinate something like this. The Lunar Olympics of 1788 were a spectacular, albeit brief, series of athletic competitions held on the moon by an eccentric group of astronomers. So, say, sounds almost believable if you didn't know better, but it's total fiction, and that's a hallucination. So, alright, if these things are prone to making stuff up, what can we do about it? First of all, crystal clear prompts are your absolute first line of defense. You almost have to think like a lawyer when you're writing your prompts for important tasks. Be incredibly specific about what you want. You need to provide context. You also need to define the output format that you expect. So the less room for ambiguity, the less room for the AI to go off on a creative route. Next up, we have something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG in short. Now, in super simple terms, instead of just letting the AI pull answers from its vast general training data, which might have some inaccuracies or it might be outdated, with RAG, you essentially give the AI your own set of trusted documents or data. Then, when you ask it a question, it's forced to base its answer primarily on that specific information that you provided. This massively reduces its ability to just invent stuff because it's grounded in your facts. You can think of it like just feeding it facts and not just the general internet. Another couple of interesting tips that you can use are temperature settings and tool limits. So most AI models have a temperature setting. You can think of it like a creativity slider. A lower temperature generally makes the AI more focused, factual, and less likely to generate wild, creative, and potentially hallucinated outputs. So higher temperature equals to being more creative and more risky. You can actually check out the temperature sliders in various AI chat tools like Google Gemini and so on. Also, one more thing, if you are using AI tools for specific tasks, like for example if you're building an AI agent for doing something, we need to try to constrain that tool to only do what it's supposed to do. Don't give it too much freedom to freestyle outside its specific job description. Use the right tool for the job and use it precisely. Of course, your prompting will bind everything together. If your prompting is weak, if your prompting is bad, these steps won't be of much use. But honestly, the biggest thing I'm taking away is this: you cannot blindly trust your AI in turn, especially if it's anything critical. Human oversight, critical thinking, and good old-fashioned fact-checking are still non-negotiable. Use AI as an incredibly powerful assistant, maybe a starting point, maybe a brainstormer, but never as the final unquestioned authority. At least not yet. Maybe we'll go there someday, but at least not yet. Now, this is where it gets really serious for anyone running a business, especially SMBs where resources might be tighter. Using hallucinated information can have real consequences. So you can imagine your AI drafts some marketing copy with completely false claims about your product. That's literally brand damage that is waiting to happen. Or what if it helps draft a legal document with incorrect clauses, or provides wrong information to a customer through an automated support chatbot? Those are recipes for frustrated customers and lost business. Even using AI for internal data analysis, if it hallucinates trends or figures, you could make some really bad strategic decisions. So while this tech is incredibly powerful and has so much potential, it's not magic and it's definitely not all-knowing. Understanding its limitations, like its tendency to hallucinate, is absolutely key to using it safely and effectively. We as the humans are still the navigators here, and the AI is just a very advanced ship that we all are learning to steer. That was a lot, and hopefully it sheds some light on this weird world of AI hallucinations. I'm definitely still learning, but The journey continues, and understanding this feels like a huge step. And what about you? Have you ever encountered a bizarre AI hallucination? What are your thoughts on how we can best use those tools more responsibly? So drop your stories in the comment below, and I'd love to hear them. Yeah, and if you like the video, please give this video a like, and definitely subscribe if you want to keep figuring out this AI automation stuff with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.